Too much silence. I peeked around the corner and felt my heart sink. Mildred was standing in the doorway, holding a gift bag and smiling like she'd been invited. "Surprise!" she said, trying to push past Philip into the house. "I heard my baby boy is getting married." Philip blocked her entry. "How did you find out about this? How did you even know where I live?" She waved her hand dismissively. "Oh, I have my ways. Aren't you going to invite me in? I brought champagne." I stepped forward, ready to back Philip up, but he gave me a look that said he had this handled. "Mildred," he said calmly, "you weren't invited." Her smile faltered. "But I'm your mother. Of course I should be at your engagement party." "No, you're not invited," he repeated, "and you're not welcome here." Her face darkened. "Is this because of that little misunderstanding we had? I thought we were past that." "It wasn't a misunderstanding. You tried to extort money from me, filed a false police report against me, and threatened to destroy my business. Then you sent a fake sewer slide threat when that didn't work." She had the audacity to look offended. "I was in a bad place. You could show a little compassion." By this point, other guests had noticed the commotion. They were watching curiously from inside. I saw Amber coming up behind Philip, her face concerned. "What's going on?" she asked. "Nothing," Philip said, not taking his eyes off Mildred. "She was just leaving." Mildred's gaze shifted to Amber, and I saw something ugly flash in her eyes. "So you're the one who's taking my son away from me?" Amber blinked in surprise. "Excuse me? He was going to help me until you turned him against me," Mildred hissed. "You think you're so perfect with your pretty face and your—" "That's enough," Philip cut her off, his voice hard. "You need to leave. Now, or I'm calling the police." She looked around, seeming to realize for the first time that she had an audience. People were watching her with expressions ranging from confusion to disgust. She was losing, and she knew it. "Fine," she snapped, shoving the gift bag at Philip. "I just wanted to give you this, to show there are no hard feelings." Philip took the bag cautiously. He peeked inside, then closed it quickly. His face went pale. "Get out," he said, his voice shaking slightly. "And don't ever contact me or my family again." She smirked, thinking she'd scored a point. "Enjoy your party," she said sweetly, then turned and walked back to her car. As soon as she drove away, I rushed to Philip. "What was in the bag?" He handed it to me wordlessly. I looked inside and felt sick. It was a baby onesie with Grandma's favorite printed on it, and a note that said, "When you have kids, I'll be part of their lives whether you like it or not." The party mood was dampened after that. Philip tried to put on a brave face, but I could tell he was rattled. The idea of Mildred trying to worm her way into his future children's lives clearly disturbed him. Later that night, after most of the guests had left, Philip, Amber, Larry, and I sat in their living room trying to figure out what to do. "We could get a restraining order," Larry suggested. "On what grounds?" Philip asked. "She hasn't technically threatened us." "That onesie felt pretty threatening to me," Amber said quietly. She'd been unusually silent all evening. I reached over and squeezed her hand. "We won't let her anywhere near your future children, honey. I promise." Philip ran his hands through his hair in frustration. "I thought I'd handled this. I thought she'd finally gotten the message. People like Mildred don't change," I said sadly. "They just find new angles." We didn't come up with any concrete solutions that night, but we agreed to be vigilant. Philip installed security cameras at their house the next day, just in case. Weeks passed with no sign of Mildred. The wedding plans progressed. Amber found a beautiful dress. They booked a venue for the following spring. Life went on. Then one evening, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Against my better judgment, I answered it. "Hello, is this Margaret?" a woman's voice asked. "Yes, who's this?" "My name is Janice. I'm Richard's new partner." "Mildred's ex-husband?" My guard went up immediately. "How did you get my number?" "From Richard. He thought you should know. Mildred's been arrested." I sat down hard on the nearest chair. "Arrested? For what?" "Credit card fraud. She stole Richard's card information and ran up thousands in charges. But that's not why I'm calling." She paused. She had a notebook. The police found it when they searched her apartment. It had all these plans, ways to get money from Philip, details about his business, his home address, even Amber's work schedule. It was disturbing. My blood ran cold. "Have you told the police about her history with Philip?" "Richard is talking to them now. They're taking it seriously. With the fraud charges and this evidence of stalking, they're pushing for jail time." I thanked her for the information and immediately called Philip. He and Amber came right over, and we filled them in on what Janice had told me. "So she's been watching us?" Amber asked, her voice small. "All this time?" Philip put his arm around her. "It's going to be okay. She can't hurt us now." We later learned that Mildred had been planning to approach Amber when she was alone, to try to convince her to pressure Philip into helping out his poor mother. There were notes about using the future grandchildren as leverage. It was calculated and cold, and it sent chills down my spine. Mildred ended up getting 18 months for the fraud charges. The evidence of stalking helped secure the sentence, even though they couldn't charge her separately for that without more direct proof of intent to harm. The day she was sentenced, Philip, Larry, and I sat in the courtroom watching. She didn't look at us once, didn't acknowledge our presence in any way. It was like we were strangers. As they led her away, I felt a strange mix of emotions. Sadness for the daughter I'd lost long ago, relief that she couldn't hurt us anymore, at least for a while, and a deep, profound gratitude for the son who had stood his ground and protected his family. The wedding went ahead as planned the following spring. It was beautiful. Amber was radiant, and Philip couldn't stop smiling. They'd decided on a small ceremony in a garden, with just their closest friends and family. During the reception, Philip pulled me aside. "I have something for you," he said, handing me a small box. Inside was a delicate silver bracelet with a single charm, a heart. "What's this for?" I asked, blinking back tears. "For being my real mom," he said simply. "For loving me when she couldn't, or wouldn't." I hugged him tight, unable to speak past the lump in my throat. Later, as Larry and I were slow dancing, I spotted Philip and Amber across the room. They were laughing about something, their heads close together, completely wrapped up in each other and their future. "We did good with him," Larry murmured in my ear. I nodded, resting my head on his shoulder. "Yes, we did." Mildred was released after serving 14 months. She didn't try to contact us again. According to Richard, who heard from a mutual friend, she moved to Florida and started over, again. Sometimes I wonder if she ever thinks about what she lost. Not the money she tried to extort, but the relationship with her son. The chance to know him as the amazing man he became. The opportunity to be part of his life, his wedding, his future family. But mostly, I'm just grateful. Grateful that Philip found the strength to stand up to her manipulation. Grateful that he chose to break the cycle rather than enable it. Grateful that, despite everything, he still has the capacity to love and trust. 2 years after the wedding, Amber gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl. Philip called us from the hospital, his voice choked with emotion. "They're perfect, Mom," he said. "Absolutely perfect." When we arrived at the hospital, he placed his daughter in my arms. "Meet your granddaughter, Margaret," he said softly. I looked down at her tiny face, so peaceful in sleep, and felt my heart heart expand. This was what family should be. Not manipulation or obligation or guilt, just love, freely given and gratefully received. As for Mildred, well, she made her choices, and we made ours.